back with another, blog, and we dealing with some Chicago things that's going on right now. That how they trying to jam up some brothers. Now I'm not caping for these guys because these guys out here are they reckless, in Chicago, and it got to the point to where you got a lot of young guys, they following club owners home, okay, which I'll play the audio on that in a minute, but it's a lot of things that's been going on in Chicago, and summer is about to hit, and it's going to get pretty rough. A lot of people going to lose their lives. It's going to be a lot of things that's going to happen in Chicago that's, summer 2023, that's going to be life changing. But for one, we have, a police officer that was killed by some young teenagers. Now these teenagers, I did a blog on this maybe about a month or two ago about these kids stealing Cadillac converters, which I'll get into a little later. But just listen to this here.
People are now charged with first-degree. 4 people are now charged with first-degree murder in the shooting death of Chicago police officer Ariana Preston. Police say the group had been on a crime spree before killing the officer. Fox 32's Joni Lum joins us live from police headquarters with the latest. Joni? Hello, Sylvia. Investigators had to work through their sorrow, and they say that community involvement helped them to make arrests and stop a crime spree that victimized women alone before it ended with the fatal shooting of Officer Preston. The offenders are teens: 19-year-old Travell Breland, 19-year-old Joseph Brooks, 18-year-old Jaquan Buchanan, and a 16-year-old male. Police say at least 2 of them shot at Officer Ariana Preston when she was returning home from work at 1:42 a.m. Saturday. Police say the 4 offenders were traveling in a stolen red Kia, and they were looking for people to victimize. They allegedly committed multiple crimes before ambushing Officer Preston.
As Officer Preston was returning home from her tour of duty early Saturday morning, 4 offenders pulled up in a stolen vehicle. The offenders quickly exited the vehicle and ran towards Officer Preston while armed. An offender fired at Officer Preston, who returned fire. The offenders continued to shoot Officer Preston, and offenders stole Officer Preston's weapon before all offenders fled the scene in a stolen vehicle.
Her last arrest that evening, even the arrestee, once finding out the news of what had happened, she wept. But that speaks to credit of Officer Preston.
Commander Pendarvis says that the charges put police on a path to heal from the loss of this star officer if they can ever get over their grief. The officer's weapon was stolen. It has not been recovered. That stolen car was set on fire, and those 4 offenders are going to be in bond court at this hour. Reporting live at police headquarters, I'm Joni Lum. Back to you. All right.
What is your
Okay, so pretty much you got 4 guys that's out here, that's robbing people, running up on females, ran up on a police officer, shot and killed her, and took her gun. Now I'm just gonna be honest, that don't really sound like what the dudes do in Chicago now. They are doing a lot of crime sprees. There's a lot of that going on, but just jumping out and shoot at a person and they return fire, that's not what they doing in Chicago. All right, so don't let the media just tell you anything. They want to make it look like, they just get out and they went to go shoot at her and took her weapon. No, that's not what they do in Chicago. So no, people don't do that in Chicago. You know what I mean? Now they like I say, a friend of mine worked for the CTA, and he said he got out, after work or whatever, a little bit early, went to the car. He could come to the car, take a nap, because he usually, take a nap during his lunch. He said he get to the car and he sees some dude under the car unhooking his Cadillac converter. Now in Chicago, it's a little crime spree going on to where these youngins, they no longer like just out here selling drugs and robbing people. they'll take your Cadillac converter and they have a buyer that will, buy the Cadillac converter. Now, on certain cars like the Kills or whatever, I think they get like $700 for each Cadillac converter. And on the regular cars, it's about $300-400. So what they do, they ride around, and while one guy under the car unhooking the Cadillac converter, he the professional. You got the other two guys that sit in the car on the lookout, and they both got guns. So my guy came, and he see the guy, unhooking the Cadillac converter, so he kicked him. Like, dude, what the hell is you doing? And so when he did that, the two guys stepped out the car, and they upped on him, which they drew their guns. Now, he worked for the Chicago Transit Authority, which is the CTA, the public transportation. So when the guys jumped out the car, he said, "Oh, okay, my fault, bro, my fault. I don't want no trouble. I don't want no trouble." Put his hands in there like, my fault, homie." And they, so the two guys told the guy that was unhooking the Cadillac converter, he said, "Hey, y'all, he good, Joe. Don't worry about it. Let's roll out." And so the dude jumped in the car and they pulled off. Now, what probably saved him was he had, his uniform on. So they don't want to really, because that'll put a lot of scrutiny. That'll put a lot of heat on them. The police really be on the lookout if you kill a city employee trying to steal from them. So that uniform probably saved him more than it would have, it saved his, it saved his life pretty much, because these guys here, they will shoot. Now, as far as what, and again, you can go back to my video to why I posted a picture of that, how two guys, was drawing their guns, outside the car while the guy was taking the Cadillac converter. Now, what they do, they'll take like 10 of these a day. You understand? 10 a day. So they'll think about it like, let's say 600 times 10. That's $6,000 a day. They doing this week, man. They trying to get $50,000 to $100,000. That's what they own. It's no longer, because at first they was doing it back in the day, I'd say some years ago, but it wasn't as bad as it is now. Because now the youngins out here, they just go, they get under your car, they got certain cars, the buyer get them certain cars, that they need to target. Okay, these are cars, well, this is the pay list. For the Kia, $700. For the Nissan, $750. For the Toyota, $500. The Chevy, $300. So what I'm saying, whatever, they feel, they ride around and they look and they just, man, they get your Cadillac converter, put in the car, boom, they gone. They go take it to the buyer, cash out, next day, cash out. And that's how they on these three-wheelers. They got all this jewelry. Yeah, it's not about selling drugs no more with these guys. It's like, I just take your Cadillac converter. Now, if you get caught doing it, then what's the charge? It's a lesser charge versus you out here selling drugs and the feds coming for you. Yeah, he tried to steal my Cadillac converter. What's the charge? It's a misdemeanor. It's petty. You know what I mean? So they figuring out how to hustle in Chicago. Everything a hustle. Now, as far as what the news is saying concerning this police officer, I don't believe that. Now, what the guys been, they try to paint a picture so when they prosecute these people, you be like, well, good for them. Someone got, you killed a police officer. Yeah, they should be punished. Y'all out here doing this stuff. But what bothers me is they say the 16-year-old, they charge as an adult. I don't like that. I don't like that. He's still a kid. Now, I'm not justifying what he did, but he's 16. So you're going to try to charge him as an adult, so he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail, because you got to keep in mind, at 16, you still influence. I got kids that's 14 and, 13 or whatever, and they're easy influence, especially hanging out with the older guys. You at 19, 20, you're a little older. Sometimes you're a little more advanced, and you're an influence on the younger. So the younger want to try to hang out with you and to do the things you did, But one thing I never liked, you said 4 of them, 2 of them shot, but you're gonna charge all 4 of them with murder. I just don't like that. If you want to say accessory to murder, but see, they put them laws on us. So that's why people have to wake up. The black guys, y'all gotta wake up, man. You gotta wake up. I understand like somebody died while y'all was doing this free, but If I didn't pull the trigger, I didn't pull the trigger. You know, if I'm hanging with a person and they do something, you know, and I didn't know they was gonna do it, you know, well, yeah, you know, you was out here committing crimes. Yeah, I'll take a hit on that. Yeah, we did this, we did that. You know what I'm saying? But now you talking about somebody got murdered in the process, you know, and I was unaware of that. You know, like nah, it's something like the man law. You know, they make up laws, you know, for our people in order for us to, you know, get more jail time or get punished severely. So them charging a 16-year-old as an adult, I don't like that. Because now you're trying to send him, you know, usually they used to send you to like the ID home, you know, for the teenagers. Then from the ID home, they'll push you down and transfer you over to jail. But usually, like if you get life sentence, back in the day, if you was a minor, once you get 21 years old, that's over with. You know what I'm saying? You'll be released from jail. Because if you go to jail for like 11, 12, 13, and you stand up till you're 21, usually that's your time. You know what I'm saying? Now they just saying, you know what? Take the 16-year-old, charge him as adult. You know, but you can't go to the Cook County Department of Corrections at 16. You have to go to the ID home. And then once you leave there, then they transfer you over to the Department of Corrections, you know, and from there you go to the penitentiary. You know, it's crazy, man. But, you know, people, you know, they throw their life away over what? Over nothing. Now, once again, I'm telling you, I'm in Chicago. I'm out here in the streets every day. Them teenagers did not just get out, drew their guns, start shooting at her. They don't do that. That's a bald-faced lie. Bald-faced lie. Now, what ended up happening? My theory, they rolled up, you know what I'm saying? You know, first off, she a female. All right, she a female. She what, 23, 24, maybe something. She's a young female. You know, it's a little more to that story that's not being revealed. By her being a Chicago police officer, the media gonna play it to make it look like all these just monsters. They did all these robberies, then they end up killing a police officer. What reason would they have to kill her? Just jump out killing her. It was something else. Maybe they try to rob her. You know what I mean? And she like, I'm a police officer, and she drew her weapon, then they shot. Maybe that happened. You know, maybe it's a robbery. But they ain't just pull up on nobody. Like, no, they don't work like that out here in Chicago. I'm letting y'all know in them dope. For the people that's not in Chicago, them young niggas don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? They will get out and rob you. You know what I'm saying? At gunpoint. Now they will do that, but they're not just looking to murder you. You like if it's murder, it's usually some op shit. You know what I mean? They at it with some, you know, with some gas, and they know who they at. They not gonna shoot a lady like that. But what she probably did was tell us she was a police officer. Then they say her gun stolen. They probably did take the gun because, you know, niggas do that type of shit. But, you know, I don't know. But as far as what they saying, they just got out and started shooting at her. That's not the case. Not at all. I can assure you that's not the case. Not at all. So no, don't buy that. Don't buy that. Now there's another thing that's going on out here. Let me play this right here. I'm gonna show you what I was talking about right here. Okay.
In case some of y'all don't know, it's a group of niggas that's riding around here. They following home club owners, merchants, people that have businesses, and they duct taping, tying them up, in some cases, killing niggas. So y'all be careful out here. I said something about the Sixers. Motherfuck them Sixers. We in the middle of a war zone. I ain't got time to be excited about a nigga throwing the ball through the hoop when this nigga's trying to track you down and take you down and take all the little bit of shit you got. Y'all be careful out here. Them stick-up boys, them young murderers, them demons, they out here. And if they catch you lacking, you gonna wake up with a rubber top and somebody's casket. Y'all be careful out here, man. It's not a fucking game.
Now, that's what the fuck they doing in Chicago, bro. That's they sending that to everybody inboxes. You know, a friend of mine sent me that yesterday. So that's what's going on in Chicago, man. Ain't no motherfucker just getting out just shooting nobody. Usually they looking for a target. You know, it's like it done got so rough in Chicago, man. First of all, everybody's selling weed. Everybody. You know, it's legal to walk around with under 3 grams. So everybody's selling weed. Everywhere you know how they used to sell loose squares at the gas station. People got weed like that now. The police can't fuck with you because the police will sit right there. They sit right there, and you got 30 niggas, and people pulling up and they, man, I got weed, and they sell it right in front of the police, and the police can't do nothing because they legalize weed. So as long as it's under 3 grams in Chicago, 2.8, 2.9, you good. You can walk around and you can't be charged for it. So now people just walking around with it free selling it. Okay? So it's to the point to where it's not like a lot of money now. You can go anywhere. Everywhere you look, I got Zod, I got weed, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, you know what I mean? Zod's the best one that people usually buy. It costs more. Like $1,200 for a pound or something like that. But yeah, man, that's what's going on out here. So what he's just talking about is niggas out here now, they 3, 4, 5 deep with bangers, man. They ride around, and like if you got something going on, man, they'll follow you home. You know what I'm saying? And you get out the car, man, they come. They hurry up, rush out the car, man. Let's go, bro. Where that money at, bro? Like it's to the point to where it's not even a game no more, bro. That's why I got a car that I didn't bring back to Chicago. You know what I mean? Because everybody a target. And the type of cars I got is very noticeable. Now, when I used to ride it back in the 2012, 13, it wasn't as bad as it is now. The Chief Keef drill came like around 2000 and anywhere from 2012 to 2014. That's when the drill really started happening in Chicago. And then all the murders started going on from 14, 15, 16. A lot of people got killed. They started doing a lot of beef rap. So a lot of that started happening in Chicago, you know what I mean? And it's now the younger generation that come up listening to music. And, you got people out here 12, 13, they smoking. I'm talking about they popping pills, they drinking lean. And, it's killing the way they think. Then the music don't help. You know what I'm saying? They saying, a lot of people dying. They I was DJing like about I think last week and a half, and I had playing a little mix, so Lil Durk was on Woo Woo. So one of the little guys came to me. He said, hey, do you mind if you change that song? He said my homie name in one of the songs. I'm like, that's me, bro. I hear what you saying, fam, but hey, maybe you need to get up out that lifestyle, bro, and raise your family. You come to the gym with your family, boy. You got a basketball gym, bro. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to be playing ball. You don't worry about, because niggas don't say and do what they want to do. But I'm not going to, every time I play a song, because he did this more than once, at least 2, 3 times. Like, yeah, he said my homie name. Look, bro, I don't know nothing about all that stuff, bro. Hey, just play ball, man. Be cool, Joe. You know what I'm saying? Or, you might end up like your homie, Joe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, be cool, bro. Just, man, you raise your family, go on about your business, bro. Don't worry about who said your homie name. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, man. But yeah, Chicago, man, that's how Chicago get down, bro. You gotta kind of like, I guess just watch it. Watch how you move, man, because it's rough. And that's just the beginning. Like I said, the summer fair to hit. It's going to be a lot of murders, man. A lot of murders. I'm actually getting up out of here. Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, man, I'm gonna shoot out. And I'm gonna go out a couple hours out of Chicago. You know what I'm saying, to another town. That way I can just, I can really just get back and forth. But yeah, this here, I'm kind of coming up out of it too. I done served my purpose here. I done did what I did. I've been in and out of jail. I ain't no more paperwork. You know what I mean? I got some looks somewhere else. So I got some people that want to rock out with me. So, man, it's just time for me to do a few more things, man. And let the Chicago thing go, man. Like I said, I ain't got no baggage. Everything, seems like it's a go. So that's what I'm going to do, man. And, but yeah, man, I just, I was watching the first 48 2 days ago. And, I think 2 dudes end up killing a female, right? So the actual shooter, right? When the police came to talk to him, he said, "I want a lawyer." Now, he was the shooter, the one that killed the girl. Now, his friend that was with him ended up trying to talk to the police. Like, they tell me your side, this your chance to tell the story. So he put himself there, this and that. And, he was saying, how the other dude shot this and that. And, whatever. He kind of talked. They gave him life in prison. They gave the other guy, I think 20, 25 years. The other guy got 20 years, and he got life in prison. So, the other guy be home. I think on the murder now, you do like 80%. I know back in the day you can do a murder and do 10 years. They give you 20 years, you'll do 10. I know a lot of guys that did murders back in the 90s, and they end up coming home like in, like 2012, 13. So, back in the 90s when you do a murder, it was, life used to be 20 years because at the age of 21, you become an adult from a baby. So that was, at life was 20 years. Now, life is life. Like, no, for the rest of your life. They no longer consider it 20 years. Or life with the chance of parole. So after 20 years, then you go for the parole board once a year. And you can be denied every year for the rest of your life. Or after 10 years, they can release you. So, capital murder is, life with no parole. So if you hit for a capital murder, it's over with. You know what I mean? You rather take that first degree or, manslaughter or second degree. However, the guy that ended up snitching, man, he ended up getting life in prison. And the other guy who did the killing, who didn't, who said lawyered up, ended up getting 20 years. So they just, people just need to shut their mouth. Not saying that it's okay to kill the lady because they killed some female they was arguing with, but ask for your lawyer. I mean, at least you have a window versus saying life you'll never get out. I mean, hell, you get 20 years, 25 years with some good time and you go through some programs, do some schooling. Man, you might be home in 15 years. The guys was only like 20, I think he said 20, 21. So they be home about 35, 40, they get another chance of life. The other guy, he get no chance of life unless he go do an appeal, which you can appeal once you go to trial. You can't appeal. You can't get appeal on a plea. Only if you go to trial and lose. So I mean, I'm just throwing something out there, man. But yeah, man. I'm just coming on here. Like I said, I'm gonna be checking in, man. I'm doing a lot of moving around. I haven't been doing content like that, but I've been doing a lot of moving around. And with that being said, I'm not really able to get in here and do my podcast the way I want. Now, once I make this new move, this new crib, we're going to get it on the cracker, man. So, again, the Cash App is Cold Radio Station. I appreciate people that hit Cash App. Look out. I mean, see, if I can bring good content. As long as y'all supporting the channel, cool, I can do content. But other than that, I got to be out in the streets. I got to be getting it. I got things that I'm doing. But I can spend some time because, man, I got a lot of good stuff to talk about, but as long as y'all supporting the channel, I do that. You feel me? Don't worry about the next man. You do your part. You can send $2 and he can send $3, he can send $2, all that helps, bro. You know what I mean? And I see everything, man. So like I said, all the people that has been supporting, sending the cash apps, I appreciate it, you know what I mean? Like, it get gas money, but that can grow. Once I can do it and, turn to something, tangible, then yeah, I got a lot of stuff and it's good information, so, that's where it's at now, it's pretty much about the podcast, blogging, but content, I got good content, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I'll let y'all know, man, as far as, I had to turn out on, this case is, man, I give you updates on the case, man, but so far, the guys that shot the police officer, y'all life pretty much over with. You kept the city police, it's a wrap. But the 16-year-old, I think he should get a break. I mean, he's not even a trigger man for one. But they just show you, like, again, the way they got these laws tricked up. You gotta watch who you hang under. Cause they got it right now. If me and you committed a robbery, and somebody end up dying in a robbery, we both go to jail for murder. If it's 10 people, all 10 of us out there, and we at a bar, and we get out, and somehow the fight break out, and somebody end up getting killed, all 10 of us getting charged with murder. I know one guy who might be drunk end up shooting, but where you was with these guys, like, no, them laws is bullshit, man. So they got it right now to where you just walk, shut up and dribble the ball. In so many words, shut up and dribble the ball. Don't say this, don't do that, because that's pretty much how they got it. So this at this point, man, just watch how you move, man. Watch who you be around, and think just before you make rational moves, man, because a lot of again, like I tell people, my son locked up, and all this stuff to impress females, and some people do it just it's guys. All you go to Chicago, you see guys shooting dice on the corner, you know what I mean, and you can tell like these guys just want to be seen. They're not really shooting dice. When I shot dice back in the 90s and back in my day, when I shot dice, we was doing it because we tried to pay the rent. You had guys out there shooting real money. You got guys that was losing. He might be down. You know what I'm saying? 10, 20,000 because he been losing all week. So he trying to get back. There's been times I've been losing. I go in there to so I'm gonna gamble $50. Next thing I'm gonna lose $700-800. I'm on in the rent money trying to win back. So when we were shooting dice back in the day, it wasn't just to be seen. We shot dice because number one, a lot of us had gambling habits. A habit is a habit. It don't matter if it's weed. It don't matter if it's liquor. It don't matter if it's sex. It don't matter if it's murder. People got murder habits. What they do in Chicago, they be like, man, how many bodies you got? They be counting how many bodies they doing. That's what's going on in Chicago. You got young niggas like, oh man, what's your count nigga? I'm at 12. Oh man, I'm at 9. This is what they doing. They count bodies. How many bodies you got, bro? How many bodies he got? Oh, you got, man, 14 bodies. Oh wow, you like that? That's what they doing. It's a game to these dudes. So and I'm not, and it ain't just gotta be Chicago. It's the young generation. Period. Chicago just, I can speak from Chicago, standpoint. It ain't got so bad out here, and it got normal. So you might go to another town like Iowa or Ohio, and you might have it, people that are doing murder, but no, these dudes in Chicago, they take pride in it. They counting bodies. Oh, he got 30 bodies. Oh, he got 12 bodies. Which is, for the people that don't understand, the body is murders. How many people you kill? We call them bodies out here. How many bodies you got, bro? So yeah, man. Again, man, this man, again, stay out of Dodge, mind your business, and you live a life, fruitful life, man. But I just came in and chop it up with y'all for a minute. I'm gonna get up out of here, bro. It's late, and I just wanted to drop that on y'all, man, real quick, man. So keep supporting the channel, man. I'm gonna get up with y'all, man. I'm out. This shit, boy. I'm gonna do what's this? Today is actually the way I'm uploading this Friday. I'm gonna have something else for y'all by Sunday. I got something I want to get off my chest. The weather gonna be kind of bad, so I'm gonna spend some time. I'm actually I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna do a live feed. So y'all just tap in with me, man, and wait on my podcast Sunday. But I'm gonna tap in. I got some more things I need to get off my chest or whatever. But for right now, y'all run with that, man. I'm out. This your boy. Peace.